Warning. This program contains coarse humor and a sense of language that some people might not share. Viewer discretion is advised.
Take a seat. She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you gonna get your food? Good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appetizing. Or maybe I was just very hungry. Or maybe I was eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid yet another Uliana prank. Want to go to the beach with us today? When? Right after breakfast. Generally speaking, relaxation wasn't on my agenda today, but if I was going to spend time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting a suntan? Sure, why not? Ah, cool. She smiled nicely. I bet you're planning another prank? No, not at all. Uliana waved her hands at me. She sure is. Alyssa grinned. She's always like that. No way. I think she's right. Nobody believes me. Uliana took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal. She said in such a way that which left no doubt nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Alyssa were left alone. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Why's that? Well, I've got something to do. And what exactly would that be? She looked in my eyes, and I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't even have a swimsuit. Try mine. You think it will fit me? Give it a try. I don't think it's worth the effort. Don't be a wimp. We'll find some swimming trunks. Those words only added to my fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting for her, is there? Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, hurried past me one by one. No one stopped by me. No one even looked in my direction. It seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager, their age, their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider this camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the first day. Indeed, Alyssa was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Though you could hardly call them trunks. They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Actually, they were boxers. I'm afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Too scared to put them on. Well, you know. I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciated her joke, but wasn't going to make myself a laughingstock. Put them on, she said roughly. Why don't you try them on instead of me? I think the color of the swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Let's make a bet. I had no desire to accept their bets. No thanks. Alright, you either go to the beach wearing that or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone you left these in my cabin. Why would I do that? How should I know? She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Alyssa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and hopefully find something like trunks. Olga Dmitrievna was waiting for me in the room. Samuel, did you hear anything about Shirk? Same as half an hour ago. I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yeah, to the beach. Wait, do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Strange, that fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. No. So what'll you wear? Good question. What? I don't know. Wait a minute. She walked to the wardrobe and unlocked a drawer. In a moment, she had a pair of normal black trunks. Where did she get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session might have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimwear trunks in Olga Dmitrievna's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. Why the hell wouldn't you go inside? Hold on, that sentence makes no sense. You decided to get changed outside when you have a perfectly good cabin right there. What the hell is wrong with you? A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I recognized only Alyssa and Uliana. Come here! I walked over to them and sat on the sand. I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked, as you can see. Come on, let's swim! I don't wanna. Maybe later. I was not a fan of swimming. Suit yourself. The girls ran into the water. Why did I come here? Why am I not looking for answers? Should I care about it now? Savyanok seemed normal. Certainly a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them, taken separately, seemed all supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as a clue. On the contrary, everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I won't get any truth from the local residents, though I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? But how far can I walk, considering I don't even know where I am? It turns out that my only option is to wait. After some time, the girls came back. Uliana held something in her hands. Look! I looked and it was a small crayfish. Just a normal crayfish. Uliana lay next to me and started to torment it. Leave the poor animal alone. Why? It's just a crayfish. So what? It has a right to live too. Jeez, this is really distracting, guys. I'll just rip its claws off and ask the cook to boil it for dinner. As if we have nothing else to eat? I looked at Alyssa. She seemed to be totally uninterested in Uliana's fun with the poor sea creature. Tell her. What's wrong? It's a crayfish. It deserves it. I looked at the girl. It looked like the girls missed their lessons on nature in primary school and lacked empathy for the environment. Give it. I snatched the crayfish off Uliana. Suit yourself. I was a little surprised that she didn't resist. I looked into the eyes of the poor animal. They didn't express anything at all, but I thought that if it could speak, it would certainly be outraged. Maybe even it would think of going to the UN Convention of Human Rights. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure that it would help. I took the crayfish to the river and set it free. Never mind, I'll catch more. There are plenty of them here, said Uliana. No doubt about it, I mumbled. I once saw a crayfish. It was pretty cool. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. I fell asleep.